Well, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are. I know my guest is already in the afternoon, so he's in the future. So if you want to know what the future looks like, you can just look over on the right-hand side of the screen. But my name is Sean from The Guy Who Sews, and this is Brekkie, The Guy Who Sews. And I have brought along a first-time guest. I'm super excited to have him along. I think we've been trying to coordinate on and off now for I don't know how long, but he's finally here with us. Super excited. It's none other than Adam from Adam Sews. So I'm just going to let him introduce himself, tell us a bit more about himself. So it's over to you, Adam.
Awesome, thank you. So yeah, my name's Adam. I have a channel called Adam Sews. I have a business called Adam Sews, and I specialise in mainly Tudor pink fabric. And I'm a bag pattern designer and a quilter, as well as a garment sewist. And I always say when anyone asks me what I like to sew is if that it can go under a needle, I will try and sew it.
I love that. I think
Yeah.
that's fantastic, Adam. And I love how much you do. Yeah, because I was watching your video yesterday where you had made that beautiful shirt that you were wearing, and I have not gone into the garment sewing aspect yet. It never really interested me at the beginning, but the more I see folks like you and Stephen over at Land Design, well, now he's just the idiot quilter. I forgot he told me that last week. And that sort of thing. Make shirts. I think Walter makes more of his shirts than he does. But the more
Yeah.
I see people make shirts, and especially guy shirts, I'm starting to take a little bit of an interest in it. So, maybe in sometime in the future, I don't know when, maybe we'll see me make a shirt or something. I think that'd be really fun. So,
Yeah.
I might be,
It's
knocking on your door, email wise and saying, hey, can you send me some patterns or something like that? But I said, not yet. Don't all just start clamoring them and saying, hey, okay, Sean, when you're making a shirt, it's not just yet. It's just kind of an idea that's brewing in my head.
Yeah. The funny thing is the most difficult part of making a shirt is probably any of the curved seams. But if you've ever done
Yeah.
a drunkard's path or anything like that, then you're well on your way to knowing how to do a shirt.
Okay. I have to do a little more practice on that. Curved seams are kind of not my forte. I've done them a couple of times unsuccessfully. I've done them a couple of times successfully. So, but
Yeah.
that's excellent to know. So that kind of gives maybe I'll go do a couple of drunkard's paths or something first
Yeah.
before I attempt that. So that's excellent advice. I appreciate that.
But it's also when you're putting a collar or anything in or a sleeve head, although you're putting a curve into a sleeve head or whatever, it's never as small as a drunkard's path block would be.
Okay,
So it's actually a lot easier because you're not working on such a small curve, you're working on a much larger curve,
bigger one. Okay,
which
well
you can
that's
actually
more
straighten
encouraging.
out to a certain extent. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm also a big dude, so that's encouraging too. So I don't have to worry about making this tiny little thing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that'll be a 2026 project for me or something like that. So we will see. As I said, don't hold me to it just yet. But as I said, the interest is it's slowly getting there. Maybe making some shirts for myself would be fun. So I mean, I made a pair of shorts back in home ec back in the early 90s. They were horrible. They ended up in a fire pit somewhere. Um, I swore I'd never sew again. That's as you can see, that didn't stick around.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a few viewers here this morning. It's good to see each and every one of them. We'll just say good morning or good afternoon, depending on where they are. For everyone, Michelle's Craft Some More was the first one here. Fabric Magician Annette is here. Good morning to you. Made by Misty. Let's see. Guess who? Nancy is here. Don't want to miss anyone. Melanie Taylor and Molly and Clint from the Boy Stitcher. He's brand new on YouTube. If you haven't checked his channel out, you need to go over and check him out. We will have him on in a few weeks. I'm just going to throw Clint's channel link in real quick, and then I'm going to make sure yours is working. Now, I meant to put Clint in earlier, and I totally forgot. Then we'll move on, I promise. All right. If I don't do it now, I will forget. So, okay, Clint, you should now have a link, a command. I'll get it right here in a minute, which will be exclamation point Clint. Let's see who else is here with us. Guess who, Nancy? I think we said already. Christina, good afternoon to you. Catherine is here with us, Candace, and I think in Stitches with Jackie. It's good to see you as well. I think we have got everybody. Melanie says she has made doll clothes and stuff for my kids when they're little, talking about my grands. Sheila, good morning to you. Teresa, good morning to you as well. She says, hey, jumping in before she goes to work. Pat Rainwhite says, good morning, everyone. Hope you have a good day. Well, thank you very much for that. Okay, so what are we both decided we were going to work on some of our friend John over at Art East Quilting project. You are working on which project there, Adam?
I'm working on the propeller quilt, which I've just realised I haven't cut enough blocks out for.
Oh, whoops. Okay.
It's
Well,
the
I'll
story of my
entertain while
life.
you do that.
It's all right. I think I'm up to the correct amount now.
Oh, excellent. That didn't take very long. Yeah, because with John's stuff, it's usually cut. So,
Yep.
and then I decided that I wanted to do one of his projects too, because I was kind of sitting there, but going back and forth on what I was going to cut. And then I saw your video yesterday saying that you got to do the propeller quilt. I'm like, well, yeah, I need to jump on board and do an artist quilting, project as well. So I'm going to work on the Halloweenies. I have done the Ghost Ween already, which is this one here, and then the one, actually, was it the one over here, the little Frankenweenie. And so this morning we got to work on the candy pieces on either side because they didn't take much cutting. And I could cut all that fabric out in about 30 minutes last night. So I figured that is it for me today. I can do that. This is the Frankenweenie from the other week, if you haven't seen it already. So we've got that going on. So that's what we'll get up to today. Good morning, Miss Joyce. It's good to see you. And I saw Donnell pop in this morning. She is normally live at 10 a.m., but this morning she has something else to do. So she'll be in later in the afternoon. We don't know what time, so stay tuned to her channel and she'll be able to tell you when she is live. It's going to be like a pop-up thing a little later in the afternoon. Good morning, Miss Tasha. It's good to see you. If you have a channel and you want to put your channel link in, you can just go ahead and use your command. It should be ! and your first name for the majority of you. If you get stuck, just let me know, tag me, and we'll get you all sorted out. So we'll go ahead and get started on our projects, or at least I am. I'm not sure if Adam's still cutting or not. And
no, I'm all up to date now.
Oh, okay, excellent. Okay, so we'll go forward. So how long have you had your channel there for, Adam? Is it? I know you've been around for a while. It's not like you're brand new or anything else like that. But I don't think I've ever asked you like how long you've done it.
I think I had my channel anniversary yesterday or the day before, and I can't remember whether it's 3 years or 4.
Oh, okay. So you're about the same length as me. I think I started in November of 21, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think it must have been. I'm trying to think back. There's no real easy way of looking, is there, other than looking back at your oldest video?
That's pretty much it. Yeah, because like when you created the account, like it'll tell you, like mine says I created the Guy Who Sews account on 2020. But
Yeah,
I didn't
3
start
years,
my first.
2021.
Okay. Well, 2021 was 4 because we were in 2025, right? Or was my math off?
It says 3 years ago on the
It must be
20.
2022 then, right? I'm sorry, it's been a long week, but I think 2025 minus 2021 would be 4. So if it's 3, that'd be, I don't know. Anyway, we're not here to
Yeah,
talk. We're not here to do.
2022.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, we're about 9 months apart. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. And you've been very successful since. I mean, you've up what 12,000, 13,000 subscribers, somewhere in that time range. Is that right?
I'm on 8, I think, just over 8.
8. Okay. Well, you should have
Yeah.
more, but that's okay. Hopefully we'll get you at least a few more today. That's kind of what the goal is. Yeah, I had to sit. I don't know. It's been a long week for me. I'm like, I better make sure I'm not telling you lies. You don't want to be. I don't want to be like correcting you online in front of all these people, and they're like, Sean, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about.
No. Yeah, I mean, it's been a bit of a weird one, really, because I don't know whether you find the same as well with the channel. You kind of get you stick at a number for a fair while,
Oh, for
and then all
sure.
of a sudden it just goes bonkers, and you just seem to be getting subscribers here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, it definitely. I think that happens to us all. But really, at the end of the day, and I'm sure you feel a very similar way. As long as I'm enjoying it, I'm happy, and as long as the viewers are enjoying it, that's all that really matters at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
no, I completely agree.
Because if I didn't enjoy this, I would be like, "Thank you all very much for this. Supporting me. This is my last video. You all have a good day, and we'll see you at the quilt show down the road." But
Yeah.
um, I'm still enjoying it, and as long as I do, I will continue to show up. I don't expect to go anywhere. So there you go. Good morning to
I
Miss
think
Stephanie.
I think the thing is as
So
well is you it takes a lot of time,
it does.
a lot of free time to even just put out one video a week. I mean, I struggle some weeks with being able to keep up with posting every Friday.
Yeah, I always like my philosophy is I do my lives unless we're out and about all day, and I like to do my podcast on a Sunday morning. But
Yeah.
and then I try to put something else out during the week. But if there's something, if I don't have the time or I don't think it's going to be a quality product, it doesn't go out.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to throw stuff up there just for the sake of it. I want it to be an enjoyable experience. If I, and my philosophy too is if I'm not willing to watch it myself as a viewer, I'm not putting it out there.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I completely agree. I've got a lot of half recorded videos where I've not then had time to record the rest of it, and I just think I'm not gonna put half a video up.
yeah, I think I had one yesterday. The time lapse for one of my cuts clues. I finished recording that like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I just yeah didn't do I didn't get around to editing it everything until yesterday, and I was like, that's
Mm,
okay. You don't want to put out something that's rubbish because that might sometimes people only see you once, and if they watched a bad video, they're not coming back. So you got
no.
to
Yeah, I agree.
that's how I kind of see it. So there you go. Let's see. Heather's here. She says she's got to go lurk and wash dishes. Oh, that sounds like fun. I'm glad that's you doing it, not me. Although I probably should get run my dishwasher after um this event. Where am I? Okay.
So this is the first house we've ever lived in that's got a dishwasher,
Oh, nice.
and when we first moved in, I said to my husband, "There is no way we're gonna use that. It'll end up becoming a storage unit for our, like, dinnerware. We'll just end up using it to store things in." It goes on every night.
Oh, oh, definitely. It's such a wonderful tool because it's not just for me. It's not that it's just easier, but I believe they wash the dishes better than you can with soap and water in a sink. And I think it's more sanitary and safer, like
Yeah, I agree.
food safety wise. Because I don't know, like I worked in food service for 4 years, went through food management, food safety management, and that sort of thing there as well. So I always kind of think of that.
Mm.
So, but yeah, the nice thing too is like just being able to load the dishwasher out, throw some detergent in there, and walk away from it is nice. But yeah, I think just the food safety aspect of it and just having those nice clean dishes as well worth it too. So
Yeah, and you don't
there you
get
go.
backache.
Yeah, no, that's not one thing I would be willing to give up either. So Sweet Granny's asking, did I ever finish the nephew truck quilt? No, I have not. I was actually thinking about that the other day. I think I need to pull that one out and continue working on that in the very near future. Right now, I was telling Adam beforehand, right now my focus is working on the pastel quilt, the pink quilt, which is for our 2 exchange students that'll be showing up next week. Good gravy. Um, and then right after that, I've got to finish the state fair quilt because the submissions for that is in 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm going to be a very, very busy boy in the next couple of weeks. And then after that, yeah, I think we'll get stuck into some other fun stuff. I think we'll try and get back to 100 Acre Woods because Adam's already finished his and quilted and bound and everything else. And I'm still like plugging along, but that's okay. And then, yeah, I think we need to do some more work on the nephew quilt because that does need to get finished before he goes to high school. Um, I joke. I mean, he's only 4.5 right now, but Jeff and Blink will be graduating high school, and I still won't have the thing done. So yeah, thank you for reminding me on that, Granny, because yes, I said that was actually on my mind earlier this week. So yeah, we'll get back to that one fairly soon. Good morning, Stephanie. It's good to see you. It's apparently Zaza's in the house. Yeah, what part of the U? I know you're from the UK, but I've never asked you what part of the UK.
Myself, I'm from Hampshire, which is right down south near Southampton,
Okay,
which is where you'd sort of sail into. It's one of the main ports in the south of England.
all right. It's also where the
But I
Titanic
think
sailed from, right?
it is, yes. I'm pretty sure Zaza though is much, much further north. Is she in
Yeah,
Scotland?
she's in Scotland. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah, my
she's
no-
one end of the island to me.
yeah, yeah. No, my knowledge of the UK is probably better than most. But I also work in international shipping, so it kind of gives me a
Okay.
little bit of a advantage, I guess. You know, we have stuff coming out of the UK all the time, so there you go. Let's see. Michelle says, "Are you getting two after all?" Yes, we are. Originally, we wanted to have two kids, and we submitted for two. And then things weren't looking good. It looks like we weren't able to get two, but then things kind of fell into line, and I won't go into the details on that, but everything kind of fell into place. So yes, we are getting two. So they'll be here within the next week or so, assuming the flights all take off on time and everything else. I don't think the hurricane rolling up the coast is going to do a whole lot to that, thankfully. But, you never know. So
Where are they from
yeah,
originally?
these two will be from Belgium and Bulgaria.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so my wife and I, we host international exchange students. They're high schoolers. They come over for the year, spend the entire year, like entire school year with us. So they come this time of year because our school starts in September, and then they hang out with us until mid-June and then head home. And so this will be the fifth year, I think, that we've hosted. Let me
Oh
see.
wow.
1, 2, 3, 4. No, actually, be year number 6. Good gravy. That we've hosted, and then yeah, this will be kids number 8 and 9 because we've double hosted the last 3 years. So yeah, that'll be fun. We always look forward to having them here. We try and show them all the American things so they'll get to experience Thanksgiving, Halloween, that sort of thing there as well. So yeah,
I would love to
Zaza says,
spend Halloween out there.
"Oh, Halloween here is fantastic," and we've got some friends that live in a you know community about 30 minutes away that really does Halloween really really well. One of the houses
Yeah.
out there apparently is decorated by someone that used to decorate for Disney World.
Oh
Um,
wow.
their their house is phenomenal. Like we went out there last year and just like they told us, yeah, this person used to decorate the Disney World and that sort of thing there for Halloween and stuff. And oh my goodness, it was amazing. So yeah, we have a blast of Halloween. That's one of the things that the kids look forward to the most while they're here. They always talk about how because we don't have Halloween where I grew up. So it's really neat
Yeah,
to be
it's
able
not
to
really a big thing here. It's becoming
yeah,
more commercialized, but it's not. It was never. I mean, when I was a kid, a lot of us didn't go trick or treating because it was not the done thing.
yeah, us either.
Whereas
We
now,
didn't
I
have
mean, everyone's kids go trick or treating now.
Yeah, that was kind of one of the things in my childhood I would have liked to have done at least once. Like I actually went trick or like because we went to kids last year, and that was actually like the first time in my life I actually had gone trick or treating. And this place was great because like all the people that own the houses, they're like, "Here, have some candy." I'm like, "I'm not 12," because it depends on which place you go to. Like, you're not supposed to trick or treat if you're over 12. And they're like, "Oh, we don't care here. You're never too old." So. Uh, I was like, I like how you all think. So, but yeah, no, we didn't have it either. So yeah, it's really neat. Joyce says take pictures and share. We will for sure. We will definitely take pictures. I took pictures and video last year, and I shared that last year on the podcast. I intend to do exactly the same as well. So yeah, Zaza said she thought we weren't getting any kids this year. We were. I think we've pretty much always had one in the works. It was the second one that we weren't. It wasn't going to work out for a while, but then it was able to work out, which was really nice. So yeah, Amanda and I are really, really happy about that. That we're able to continue to do that. Now, what was I doing here? This is the right-hand side. Okay. I'm changing up the pattern. It called for 3 different colors, like 3 on each side, but duplicated on the left and the right. And then I decided, no, I'm going to do 6 different colors because the colors I'm using are actually the same colors that are on the pastel quilt because I figured it's going to look just fine and dandy.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, they kind of match what was on the pattern anyway. So I just figured, well, since I have some of these scraps laying around, we'll just go ahead and use them and give them something to do. Okay, so where is part C? There it is. Okay, let's see. All right, so everyone's talking. Donnell and that are talking to each other. Zaza said it was bonfire night in the UK. I remember bonfire night.
Yeah, that
We
was
had
the bigger one that was celebrated.
Yes. Was it Guy Fawkes Day? Is that the one? Is that bonfire night in
Yeah,
your
yeah,
place? Okay.
yeah. Guy Fawkes Night. So we used to celebrate that a lot more as a child than Halloween. Like we
Yes.
used to. My grandparents used to do big firework displays outside the house, and that was always quite good fun. And we always used to have
Are you,
toffee apples and.
yeah. Are you still allowed to use like set off your own fireworks, or is that not allowed now?
We are. It's kind of one of those things though that most people now kind of frown upon because of the effects that it has on pets.
Right.
So a lot of people tend to now just go to organized displays.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember when I was a kid, we had it was actually I think it was I don't know if we called it Guy Fawkes Day or we just called it Cracker Night.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is what we call fireworks. It's not a derogatory term like it can be here in the US. So please don't get me delisted for that. But yeah, it was like the mid 80s, I think it was. They changed it. I think there was too many people getting their hands blown off or something like that. So they stopped allowing us to purchase fireworks and using them. So they're actually illegal now in Australia. They have been
Oh
since about
wow.
the mid 80s. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if they even have Guy Fawkes Day anymore. I think they kind of fizzled out when the fireworks became illegal. So,
Yeah. I mean,
but I do remember
there's a
that.
lot of people that don't use them correctly,
Yeah,
which
and
is a worry that they're allowed to just walk in and get them.
yeah. Here in the States, it depends on which state you're in. Like some states, they're legal, some they're not. I think Virginia, it's not. I think you can buy them in North Carolina. But, July 4th rolls around on New Year's Eve. It doesn't, even though it's not legal here, I mean, if you go outside, you can hear them firing off all over the place. So I'm like, I don't know
Yeah.
why you'll even bother, banning them because everyone uses them anyway.
I remember at
So,
school when we was in sort of like the final years of school, someone in the same year as us, he set one off inside the school.
oh, whoops.
Yeah, so we was it was during class time, so most people were sat doing their work, looking at the teacher at the front of the class, and all of the doors had little glass panels in the center, and this firework just shot down the hallway past all the classrooms.
That's the sort of stuff you see on cartoons and stuff. I didn't realize it actually
Yeah,
happened in real life. Real life.
yeah, it was not clever.
No, not at
Luckily,
all.
no one got hurt.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
Uh,
we had some
let's,
random things happen at our school.
yeah, thankfully, we didn't have anything too crazy happen in our place. Um, saw some stuff here a minute ago that I was going to mention. Someone asked me a question and then I forgot. Um, got distracted and didn't answer it. Let me go back up and see how things are. What I missed. Donnell says she needs to get you on her channel as a guest when she gets better. So
Yes.
I'm sure she'll be reaching out to you in the very near future. You'll have fun with her. She's a really nice lady to hang out with. I have her on quite a bit. I see Michelle's here with us. Oh yeah, Sweet Granny was asking, is that the turtle in the tank behind you? Yeah, we actually changed her tank around, and her thing that she sits on this side now, and then she actually is just hanging out over there. She's not dancing around this morning. I already fed her, so you might not see too much activity out of Miss Rowena today. But no, she's still hanging out there. Someone was telling me that they sell fireworks in Missouri all year round. I remember, yeah, the last time I was in Missouri was many, many years ago, and every town had the world's largest fireworks shop. I actually got to stop inside one of them and take a look around, and I was tempted to buy some and try and take them home, and I'm glad I didn't because I got selected for a random explosives testing at the airport on the way home, so I wouldn't have, I wouldn't have made it too far.
That wouldn't have
Except
gone down well.
No, it would not have gone down well. I would have ended up in the local lockup. So it's a good thing I didn't even attempt that idea.
So your turtle was very, very active in your vlog this week.
Yes.
I noticed
Some,
her in there.
yeah, she is very popular here on the channel. I think most people come to see her, not me. At least that's what I like to joke about. But yeah, she's usually very active. And I think someone mentioned in the chat a while ago that, did I do this backwards? Yes, I did, but that's okay. We're just going to change things up and make it our own. Someone said sometimes turtles might react to the voice. So, like
What does she eat, Sean?
she eats this turtle food that I buy at the store. It's a mix of it's turtle foods. It's not like mealworms and that sort of thing there.
Oh,
I don't know.
cool.
But yeah, so I just open the thing up and give her a little bit of food, and she gulps it down, and she's a happy turtle. So
Yeah, we used to have tortoise, a
yeah.
giant leopard tortoise,
Oh, okay.
in one of our previous houses. But when we moved, we was in a private rental, but we knew the landlord really well, so we were kind of
Yeah.
allowed to have whatever we wanted. And then when we moved from there down to further south in England, our landlord wouldn't allow us to have her, so we rehomed her with a friend. But
No.
she's huge now. She's
Yeah,
like a
those
moving
things.
coffee table.
I was going to say those things get pretty big, don't they?
Yeah, she was a leopard tortoise, so they do look like moving coffee tables.
Wow,
But yeah,
that's
one
intense.
day
Yeah, I
I'll have
don't know.
another one.
Yeah, yeah. Amanda was telling because I think we've had Rowena now 6 or 7 years, and Amanda thought she was getting old. I'm like, no, these she may outlive us, because they yellow slider, which is what we have, they can live to like 40 or 50 years old. So
Oh, okay, so they're about half of the life expectancy of a tortoise then.
yeah, the tortoises and the big that sort of thing lived. Like I think those Galapagos turtles or tortoises, whichever one they are, but they live to like 100, 200 years old or something like that. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think the oldest one at the moment on the planet is about 140 something, isn't it? I think.
something around that. Yeah, it's quite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
amazing
think
how long those.
the small ones that you'd own as pets, well, the smaller ones, I think they are about 100, 110 years.
Yeah,
So it's definitely not an animal for Christmas.
no, not at all. He actually was originally a classroom pet that was given to my wife. It must have been. She must be 8 now because when we had Lorenzo here, when he was here in 12th grade, apparently one of his classmates, it was their classroom turtle when they were in 6th grade. So that would be 6 plus 2. Well, no, 6 plus 1. No, so she's 7. And she came home for the summer. And I just decided that she didn't need to be a classroom turtle anymore. She needed to be a home turtle. So he's been here ever since.
So a friend of mine's got a tortoise that she never actually intended on having because she bought a house,
Right.
and the previous owners had thought they'd lost her, but she'd actually dug her way down into the flower bed and hibernated. So in the spring, my friend just walked out in the garden one day, and there was a tortoise there looking at her, and a great big
Hello.
hole in the ground where she'd climbed out of.
That's funny.
Yeah, but the thing is as well is like when you've bought a house in the UK, it's very rare that you actually know the details of the person after you've completed the sale. So that I don't think they had any way of contacting the previous owners,
Oh, okay. So
because
this
it's
is
rare that someone will give you their like contact number or.
right. So this is number one candy. So that worked out. I had intended it to go. Oh, hang on. I'll just turn that. Let's see. 5. Oh, okay. I can just do that. Or I can just. So I was supposed to make it right facing, so I mean I could in theory just turn it this way, and it's supposed to be. It should be the same way, but I might just switch them around. As I said, I'm just making it up as I go along. So if it goes on the left side instead of the right side, it's not going to kill anybody. So
No,
there you
that's
go.
what happened with the bees.
Oh yeah, you were talking about the bees for the Alice in not Alice in Wonderland. Winnie the Pooh. I always get these all confused.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I made them all left facing, every single one of them.
I would have left it. I don't think it would have made any real difference.
But then I took them apart. I took half of them apart because half of them were supposed to be left facing,
Yeah.
half was supposed to be right facing. So there was 16 in total, I think, isn't there, the bees?
Yes. Yeah, it was 8
Yeah.
and 8, I
I,
think.
so I took 8 apart and sewed their heads on the opposite end,
Yeah.
but then realised that I hadn't taken their wings apart. So I had to take all 8 apart again and switch their wings.
Yeah, I would have left it
There
if
was
I if
something else
I'd made.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that, and I remember, the instructions said, you do 8 left, 8 right. I was like, okay, I got to make sure I do this right. But I was like, you know what? If I get to the end of this and I realize I've done 16 left or 16 right, that's just how it's going in the quilt, and that's just going to be how it is.
Yeah.
And I've done that with some of his patterns in the past, where I think in Alice, what was it, block 2 or 3 with the white rabbit, and he had that timepiece.
Yes.
And there was that one strip of fabric that was supposed to go at the top of the timepiece, and I stuck it down accidentally at the bottom, next to the clock itself. It looks really good, and I happened to have John on the channel that Saturday morning, and I'm like, "Is this going to affect the final design at all?" And he's like, "No." And I said, "Good, it's staying as it is." So sometimes
There's
just
some
leave it
bits
as
where you see it right in the center of the block at the end, and you just think, no, it's just not worth it.
it's not, yeah, like because you got to sit there and I was training someone at work yesterday. And I told them the same thing. You always want to make sure you do things right, because if you do it wrong, it takes you at least 3 times as long. Because it's the one time to do it wrong, that amount of time, if not longer, to undo it and then do it correctly. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. So like, you sit there and think to yourself, is this worth the amount of time that it's going to take to fix it, or can you live with it? Is it going to really be that big a difference? And half the time for me, it's like, no. Um, Heather says that's the definition of quilter's candy. Yeah, someone else mentioned it looks like a piece of candy. That is exactly what it's meant to look like. So that's what it looks like to you. I've done my job well. So thank you for that. And then they asked me to show the pattern again. This is the Halloween pattern by Art East, and I'm doing the little pieces of candy that go down the side on here. and then over here as well. These were fairly easy to cut out. So I figured this would be a good project for me to tackle today. All right, so we can now move on to the next one. All right. Yeah, Laurie says, just described it. Adam's channel, glad to find you. Yeah, if you haven't checked out Adam's channel, you need to go and check it out. He has a lot of fun. If you like what I put out, I think you'll enjoy Adam's stuff as well. So yeah, definitely go over and check that out. Am I missing anything in the chat? Zaza says her tortoise did every year in the garden as well. They hibernated early. Jeannie says, thank you for saying hi. No one usually says anything to me. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed you early. I try and catch everybody. And sometimes I miss people. So if you ever have a question or you say hi and I don't respond, tag me in the chat. Put at the guy who sews, because then it comes up in bright orange and I'm more likely to be able to see it. And sometimes, like if I get in the middle of a conversation and the chat's moving, and I sometimes miss it. So don't be afraid to come back and say, hey, I'm still you didn't answer my question. Can you let me know? Laurie says, I wish dogs lived that long. You and me both. Yeah. I wish
I do
dogs
too.
did. Yeah. Yeah. I miss some of our, little Bandit and Alex and that sort of thing there. But I guess also if they live less, it gives you a chance to, interact with more dogs too. So, I mean, it's kind of a, give and take there. So,
Yeah.
someone said they had a red slider turtle. I've actually seen the yellow sliders. Apparently, I guess they're native here in the in Virginia, because I've actually gone to a couple of, like a city park on the other side of the water up there in Newport News, and playing disc golf. And I've actually seen some of these yellow sliders, turtles that look like Rowena, actually, like out in the pathways and stuff, just enjoying life. So, and they're a lot bigger. I think they can grow fairly big. They kind of depends on their environment and that sort of thing there as well. So, all right, let's see.
That's a bit like goldfish do that, don't they? They grow to the size of their environment.
Yeah, same sort of thing with goldfish. So, all right, Mama Papa's here as well. It's good to see you. And my friend from Canada. I always butcher her name, and I'm not even going to try this morning because I am out of words. I've been doing like 4 hours of training at work, and I usually don't talk nearly that much. Brenda, good morning to you as well. It's good to see you as well. So yeah, we'll do our next piece of candy. I am so distracted today. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you all. Adam says, Sweet Granny says, Adam, I saw your husband run up and down the stairs, so he must be floating about. So that's cool. Does he
I think he's
sew or
going
do
out for
any?
a cycle.
Oh, okay. Does he craft or sew at all or anything else like that? I don't know that I've ever paid attention.
Quilt. I did teach him how to quilt.
Oh, nice.
He has made a couple of quilts, and they are way more advanced than you expect for someone that's hardly ever made a quilt.
It amazes me how some people just jump right in and do something, far more complicated than I have. Like my first quilt was kind of similar to the pastel and the pink quilts that I'm working on, just big pieces of patchwork, which I figured for me, I didn't have anyone to help me. I was just learning off YouTube, so I just figured I better go simple so I don't get discouraged. But yeah, I think it's nice if you have someone to help you, you can attempt something a little more complicated.
Yeah, he made a significantly difficult pattern for his first quilt. It had 9 pointed stars, I think it was.
Oh wow.
Eight pointed stars or something. Yeah, I actually know the lady that is the pattern designer for the pattern that he used, and I said to her that Darren had made her pattern as his first quilt, and she was like, "Really?" She's like, "I teach people that have been quilting for 30 years, and they struggle with that pattern."
Oh wow. Well, that's impressive.
Yeah, so we just managed to just soldier straight through it.
Well, I guess if you put your mind to something, it's amazing what you can do. I think I've heard people have done I think it was the Alice in Wonderland one that John did. I think in the reveal, like, when people are showing off the final thing, which I always like to go and watch, but I've never, obviously, I've never done on time, but that's okay. There was a couple of people in that one there where I think that was their very first quilt.
Yeah, I think I've heard that as well.
Yeah, and I think they had someone there to help them out, of course, because there's no way on this earth I would attempt that as my first quilt if I didn't know what I was doing. But if I had a friend to guide me along, I think I would give it a go. So,
Mm. Yeah,
well, it's
I think the thing is as well though is with the artist patterns is John's just instructions are so clear
they are
that
they really
they kind of are suitable for anyone that's never even made anything.
They really are, and that's one of the things I love about them is they are so clear, and you have the choice of um, doing it by reading the pictures like hairstyles, I like to call it, which is what I tend to do.
Yeah.
But there's also plenty of written instructions there as well, so it doesn't matter how you like to assemble your quilts or read the patterns. It's really detailed and everything else there as well, and they're also broken up into like this particular pattern here with all these different blocks. It's broken up into like I like to call them chapters.
They're like mini
Amongst
quilts, aren't they?
Yeah, like mini quilts. So like if today like I sit here and go to myself, okay, I want to make skeleton wean, I can just go to that page. It'll give me the cutting instructions for just that block, and so I can just assemble. And you can actually make these like, and I've actually considered doing this for part of it. You can actually make like little individual wall hangings or
Mm.
that sort of thing there as well with that particular block. You can just make that block, and away you go. So it's very versatile in that sort of thing there as well.
They'd make
So,
good cushions for your couch for the Halloween period.
well, that's an idea. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
you could
really
make a couple of them and just have them as like scatter cushions.
yeah. I might have to do that. Um, yeah, that's a I like that idea a lot. Yeah, I might have to look into doing that. I actually just made a couple of cushion covers early this week, which I will show off tomorrow. So come back and see that. My wife had an idea that she's like, oh, we should do some seasonal cushion covers, and they're super easy to do. I went online, I found a tutorial to make them, and it was a lot easier than I thought. And so, yeah, we might be doing some seasonal cushion covers and changing them out every season because like for the big 20 or 18-inch cushions, it's like half a yard of fabric. And you just kind of sew around it and bang, you're done, and away you go. So that'll be a lot of fun for us to do.
I've got a lot of cushions downstairs that are made out of quilt projects that I've started and then realised that I'm never going to make the actual whole quilt.
Oh, there's an idea.
So it's a good way of using up UFOs. If you've done like sort of 4 or 5 blocks to a quilt and then you lose patience or lose your love for the pattern, it's quite good just to turn it then into just if you've got 5 blocks, just take 4 of them and create a large cushion.
Yeah, that's an idea. I might have to look into that because yeah, I and that's yeah, I've that's something I've realized about myself over time is I have to do like sampler blocks or that's one of the things I love about John's and the Elizabeth Hartman stuff is I'm not doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again because I get very bored of that. I can't
Yeah.
I love seeing quilts that it's the same style block 45 times. I love seeing people make those and I enjoy looking at them. But am I going to make one of those? No, thank you. It's not for me because yeah, I'll get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks into it. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this. I want to go do something else. So yeah, that might have to go look up my old orphan blocks and actually do what you suggested because that's a really, really good idea.
Yeah, your other option as well is if they've got similar backing fabrics, which I've got a lot of orphan blocks with the same colour background. I've actually I've got a top that's stitched together with about I think it's got probably about 18 or 20 blocks from different quilts that are all stitched
Okay.
together into like my own form of a sampler. And none of them make any sense. I've got blocks that look like I've got an apple block. I've got a block that
Right.
looks like all sorts of random things.
Yeah. But
But
it
at least
almost
it
looks like a
gets
memory.
used.
Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
used, and it's kind of like a memory thing to me. Like, because you can go, okay, I love, I had fun making that, and now, and it becomes functional as well.
Yeah.
Jean says, did I put a gusset on the cushion? I don't know what a gusset is. Let me go look that up because now I'm curious. Probably not. I just see, I'm always learning something. Strip of fabric, it forms the edge, connecting the top and bottom pieces, reinforcing the seams. It's essential for giving. No, this pattern didn't have that, I don't think. I'll have to go look into that because I'm always willing to learn and adapt and get better at stuff. So thank you for suggesting that. I'll have to go take a look and see a pattern with that because yeah, one of the cushions came out beautifully and it looks really, really good. It fit the cushion beautifully. It looks, I'm actually considering maybe entering into the state fair, even though it's very simple. I don't know. We might just throw it in there and see what happens. The second one, yeah, it's not quite as good. And I didn't know if it was the cushion itself, but yeah, maybe it needs a little bit of help with a gusset or something like that there as well. So yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, thank you very much for that, suggesting that, because that might be that's definitely something I'm going to look into more closely. So I just wanted to kind of make a couple to get started. And that's kind of how I go. It's like I usually just find that super easy, simple pattern to kind of give me the confidence to try, and then we can kind of refine it from there. So there you go. Stephanie says her husband decided he wanted to make a quilt by Jason Yenter with castles and dragons a year ago. Now he's made 7. Problem sharing the machine. Yes, she has 2 FAFs now. Yeah, that's the problem with getting someone else interested in sewing is that you have to have multiple machines. I have the same issue with when my sister comes to visit from Australia. I love sewing with her, but we really only have room here on the table for one machine. So what I tend to do now is I let her sew and I cut and press and do all the other stuff for her. And that works out pretty well for us. Good morning, Miss Layla. Good morning, Miss Donna. It's both to see you. It's good to see both of you. If you add it to the sides of the panels. Okay, I'm definitely going to look at that, and maybe I can angle the other one and look a little better. That'd be good. I was wondering what I was going to do with that. Now I might have an answer. Let's see. Deb S is here with us. Good morning to you as well. Kathy says good morning from Decatur, Illinois. Hopefully I pronounced that city name right. Let's see.
Do you put zippers in the back of your cushions, Sean?
Sorry?
Do you put zippers in the back of your cushions?
No, I did not. I was trying to avoid doing that. I had to once where you just slide it in and it worked pretty well. And I figured if I had to do a zipper, I wasn't doing one anyway. I have plenty of snaps that I can use. I figured I could just put 3 or 4 snaps in there and call it a day. But yeah, it's where you'd overlap it by 3 or 4 inches and it just sits in there and you don't notice any difference. So yeah, that worked out well. I know how to use zippers and everything else, but if I don't have to, I'm obviously not going to because I want to move back on I want to make the cushions and then go back to quilting.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I want to make sure I do this right. See. Good morning, Miss Dawn. It's good to see you as well. Scotty is here. Good morning to Scotty. Says whoop whoop. Hey guys, it's good to see you. So many people. If you are here, and I see a lot of people that I'm familiar with, but if you are here because of Adam, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to see who's come over to hang out with us today. From Adam's side of the world. And I'm sure we share a lot of viewers too.
Yeah, I imagine we probably do.
Left. Okay. I'm just making sure I'm doing this right. I've already goofed this up once. But I'm able to make changes. I was
I'd love to know.
Go ahead.
When someone in the industry will come up with a fast, simple way of squaring up half square triangles.
I don't know. Yeah, that would be interesting to know.
Like a stamp thing that you put them in or something and line it up and then just press it.
You mean for the triangle part itself, right?
Well, you know, when you have to square them up when you trim them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than having to go around all four edges,
The
if you could just put
closest,
them in something and then
yeah.
just press it like an Aki quilt.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, the closest thing I've come up with is these.
Oh yeah, so I don't think we can get them here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they've got in the supply. I'll have to talk to Fallon and see. These things are fantastic. Yeah, you still have to go around all four sides, but you basically cut, spin, without having to lift it up. These things are
Yeah,
fantastic. If you can get your hands on these, they are well worth the investment.
yeah. See,
These are
I've just
the
got the non-handled
yeah,
version.
yeah. No, the handle makes the world of difference in these. I forget trim locks is what they call them because I got this the slide lock's the bigger one. I have all this stuff. Just love Fallon's products, and I think they're just really good. And it's nice to be able to support a small business in that way as well as a bonus. But they're just
Yeah,
really good
totally agree.
products. So, but yeah, I don't know if they can actually ship to the UK, and then with
I
all the
suppose the fear is as well is that they'll get damaged.
oh no, they package them so well. Yeah, that I can attest to.
Oh, okay.
Zaza says they do ship internationally. No, Fallon and Matt, when they package these things in there, I think you could probably use it as a football, and
Okay.
on the way over here, and they'll still get to you safely. They bubble wrap the heck out of these things. So if
Oh,
that's your
good.
concern, don't ever let that concern you because I will attest. I've gotten several shipments from them. They've all been beautifully packaged. So
Oh, good.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I've had some very suspect looking parcels come over that have
yeah.
been. They literally look like that someone has played football with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no, I would definitely tell you, um, don't let that worry you because yeah, you'll be just fine and dandy in that aspect. Good morning, good evening, Sandra. She says she had an earthquake in Queensland this morning. I was painting my sewing room wall at the times. Wow, it's I don't know. We had an earthquake in my hometown. I don't know, like 10 or 15 years ago. It was well after I moved here. They're usually not big earthquakes down there. Probably I'll have to go take a look, of course. Um, I'd say probably somewhere in the fall where it just shakes you around a bit. We had an earthquake here like that about 10 or 15 years ago. I was actually sitting in, I used to work in like a rail yard that was inside a trailer. And every time the train went by, the trailer would shake. And this time when the earthquake happened, I felt the trailer shake. So at first I thought it was the train, and then I realized, oh, hang on, the train shakes this way and it's shaking this way. And so I was like, oh, it must be an earthquake. Um, it it didn't really do a whole lot, thankfully. I mean, which was good. So
When we were on a family holiday as kids, I can't remember if it was Crete or Corfu or somewhere around that area, and
right,
then we had an earthquake in the middle of the night about 3 a.m.
yeah,
And none of us woke up apart from my mum. Everyone else slept through it, and my mum the next morning, none of us believed her that there was actually an earthquake, and she said that the wardrobe doors were swinging around and everything was shaking, and that all four of the rest of us just slept through completely, like nothing had ever happened.
yeah. That reminds me. That was a very similar story to when I was in ninth grade. We went to New Zealand for spring break. It was a school organized trip we could go on.
Yeah,
And yeah, we had this earthquake. Yeah, I think it was like five. Was it 5.51? I mean, it shook you around a little bit, but it was nothing serious.
yeah.
And it shook us around. And my mate was sleeping in the bunk above me, and he slept through the whole thing. And yeah, he woke up afterwards, and I'm like, "Did you feel the earthquake?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" And he didn't believe me either. Like even when I showed him on the news the next morning about the earthquake, he still didn't believe me. So he might believe me
Yeah,
now, but 30 years later, but
we only believed her once we went down to breakfast that day, and then someone else from another holiday maker turned around and said, Did you feel the earthquake last night?"
yeah.
And then
Yeah,
we were all convinced that Mum was actually it wasn't something she dreamt; it was actually something that had happened.
yeah, yeah. Because we're in these little cabins in New Zealand this day. Okay, that's a sign. trailer, cabin. If I want to avoid it, if I ever go to California, I have to go stay in like a real building because apparently earthquakes happen when I'm in like cabins. So if you ever hear me wanting to go camping or glamping in California, don't go anywhere near me because you might hit the big one. Yeah, but yeah, no, he thought I was making stuff up. I'm like, no, Paul, I am not making this up. I thought someone was actually like some of the other kids were like banging on the outside wall or something, and then once I felt it shaking, I was like, yeah, they're not that dedicated. Okay. Let's see. In Stitches to Jackie says, I've always enjoyed your channel, Sean, because of your support for all the other channels and your kind personality. Well, thank you for that. I love supporting everyone else where I can. I'm also a subscriber of Adam's. I believe he is a big Tula fan. Yeah, I think he loves him some Tula fabric.
Yeah,
Just a little bit.
yeah, it's not a problem at all.
No. The first time I actually used any Tula fabric was actually with the Alice project with that so along with John. So
Okay.
I'd always wanted to, but my local quilt shop here never really had a big selection. It was always like 6 or 7 random bolts, and that was it. They've actually upped their game recently, which is nice, and they actually got a
Okay.
halfway decent selection. But yeah, that was really that was the first time. And that's why I bought the kit that time with John, because I was like, yeah, I could go ahead and try and find this stuff online somewhere, but it's going to be a real pain in the tail. I'd rather just pay him and let him do it. So I've enjoyed working with it. So
It's a really nice base fabric to work with, Free Spirit.
it is.
I like
I
the
don't
way
think
that it
I'm as
performs.
yeah. I'm not. I don't think I'll be as big a fan as you are ever, but I do enjoy working with it. Margie says, on my cruise from Victoria Island to Hawaii, we went through a storm called Pineapple Express, and it tossed the boat crazily, and it felt like an earthquake. Oh, okay. I misread that earlier. I thought it was like a part of Hawaii called the Pineapple thing. I know when you fly, if you ever fly over the Pacific, like from Australia to the US, and you fly over Hawaii, I don't care if you're dead asleep, you'll wake up because there's always turbulence as you go over Hawaii.
Mhm.
Every time. Like you don't have to look at the little map on the screen to know where you are when you're over Hawaii because you can just feel the bouncing. I guess the air gets disrupted from all the mountain stuff. I don't know.
That
It's
was like
always interesting.
flying over to Canada is the same.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, there was a part of sort of Canada, Iceland sort of direction that we flew over on the way out and the way back, and the turbulence was terrifying.
Mm.
It doesn't normally seem to bother me that much, but that time it really did.
Yeah. I've been pretty lucky with turbulence and flying. I mean, yeah, going over Hawaii, you always feel it bouncing around. And there was one time I flew from LA to DC, and it was in the springtime when all the tornadoes and that were rolling around, and that was rough. It was apparently bad enough they had the flight attendant strapped in for this first 2 hours of the
Wow.
flight. And yeah, normally like it's like the LA to DC is like straight across the middle of the country for anyone that doesn't know the geography super well. It was bad enough that the pilot had us flying up basically North Dakota Canadian border. I think if I looked at the left window, I could have seen Canada. And then we actually came all the way across, like kind of hugged the Canadian border, and then came down through New York down to DC. That was an interesting flight.
Yeah, I think it always worries you, doesn't it, when the crew put their seatbelts on?
Yeah, but then you got to figure too, like, and this is what I always tell myself. Anytime I start to think, okay, blah blah, I'm like, the pilot wants to go home too. He doesn't want to die today. So he's not going to put that plane in the air if he or she. They're not going to put that plane in the air if they don't feel like that they've got to be able to control it safely. So
Yeah.
So if you remember that, you'll be good. Let's see. Michelle is asking, what am I working on? I am working on part of the Halloweenies pattern, which is this one here. You may have seen me make the ghost and the Frankenweenie over here in the past. I'm working on these little candy pieces this morning because I wanted to work on something that didn't require a whole lot of cutting, and that's fell into that category. I'm enjoying it. I've made one so far. I'm just using scraps from the pastel quilt, and it's going to turn out really, really nice for this project. So, all right, Linda's on her way out. Thank you for hanging out. She has to go to work. That's sad, but you got to pay the bills. So sometimes we got to work. I still have to go to work 5 days a week, so you're not alone now.
Yeah. Work gets in the way of quilting.
It does. It really, really does. Michelle says I go glamping. Now, we used to go roughing it camping, not anymore. Yeah. That's always sounds fun. Yeah. Whenever we went camping, it was usually in a cabin or something nice like that. Traditional camping, I guess, was what we did when we were in the Boy Scouts.
I've only ever been camping once, and I did not like it.
Not for
It
everyone.
was
Some people love it.
it was just
But
so cold.
oh yeah, I can imagine being cold where you were.
Yeah. I mean, at night time it just gets so cold, and it was a precursor thing to an event that we were going to the following day,
Right.
and everyone had arranged to camp the night before, which seemed like a really good idea. But it was like early spring, late winter or something whenever we did it. So it dropped down to like 0 throughout the night, and it was very cold.
Yeah. We actually camped for would have been close to 2 weeks. Like in 10th grade, we go on a Central Australia excursion, which basically takes you through the middle of the country. And, to keep the costs down, we camped a lot. And it wasn't terrible. Even though it got cold, like in the desert, it got cold at night. It got down to 0 and that, but it didn't feel super cold, I guess, because it wasn't windy.
Yeah.
Plus, I was also young back then, so maybe that made a difference. I don't know if I'd do it again today, but
Yeah, you don't feel the cold as much when you're younger.
I'm also the guy that runs around now in shorts until it's about once it gets to about 5, 6 degrees Celsius, about 40, 42 Fahrenheit, that's when I start finding my pants. But until
Okay.
then, I run around in shorts. My mate Russ from Quilt Meets World's kind of the same way, apparently. So I don't know where he is today. He's probably over either hanging out with Stephen or I think he has a thing at his local quilt shop the third Saturday of each month. So
Okay, yeah, Stephen's doing a live today, isn't he? A live so day.
yeah, he's doing his pop-up slow days that he does
Yeah.
once in a while.
So I
So
actually
that's
got to meet him and Walter a couple of weeks ago.
oh really?
Yeah, while they were over for Festival of Quilts.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he went over to that. I kept seeing this festival of quilts, and I was like, I didn't know where it was originally. I thought it was somewhere in like Houston or something. And
We
then
got
I
to hang out and
realized
have
someone was
coffee.
talking about it being in the UK. So
Yeah, it was good fun.
is that in like London or is it somewhere else?
It's in the Midlands, so like right in the middle of England. It's in
Gotcha. Okay.
Birmingham.
Yep. Okay. Nice. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to make a trip over there. One.
Yeah,
Is it always like this?
it's the same time every year. I think
I might
it's
have to make a
the
trip over there.
yeah, it's
Because
always the last weekend in July, first
okay.
weekend in August.
Okay. This is sounding good because it's summertime, so my wife is off.
Yep.
She's always wanted to go to the UK.
It was really warm as well this year.
Yeah. She's always wanted to go to the UK and see London and everything else. I wouldn't, yeah, and she's off school. We don't have any kids then. Yeah. Might have to save our pennies, and we might have to go to the Festival of Quilts one day.
Yeah.
I'm really liking this idea. Okay.
What am I working on? I am working on the propeller quilt, which is an artist pattern, which is this one here. And the white on the picture here, I have replaced with a rainbow of different colours. So I've got the whole rainbow all the way from yellow through to blue and purple with a black background.
Yeah, I love using a black background. It's always a lot of fun to do that. And I think John has done that in multiple colors too, hasn't he? I think he showed that on one of my quilt trunk shows that I do at the end of the year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I find with a black background is it's quite frustrating to cut out when you've only got a black cutting mat
Oh, geez, yeah.
because I
That
just
would
can't
that
see it.
that would be rough. I hadn't thought of
Yeah.
that about that. Yeah, I usually have to put my glasses on to cut black fabric now because I'm getting to the age where I need, well, I have bifocals. Um, but yeah, I struggle with cutting black fabric. I could not imagine doing it on a blank cutting board. That would be rough.
Yeah. So I cut out all of 100 Acre Wood before I went to retreat last year. And I cut so much out that I actually took the skin off the inside of my hand here where I've been holding the rotary cutter for so long.
You cut the
Because I
whole thing
decided
out.
I cut every single character and put them in project bags.
You are intense.
It took hours.
It takes me out to cut. Takes me an hour or two to cut out one of those blocks, let alone all
Yeah.
10. Good golly! Wow.
But it was my crazy idea, like the night before we actually drove up to where we were staying for the retreat, and I was up till about 3 a.m. I went to sleep for a couple of hours, and then I got up early again to cut out the rest of it so that it was done before the time I left.
Wow. Okay, that's just intense there, Adam. I mean,
Yeah,
my head
I
is
will
on.
never do that again.
I was gonna say,
And do
my
you know what
head's off to
amazed me?
another.
I didn't actually miss one tiny square.
Really? Okay.
Whereas normally I'm guaranteed I'm always missing a 2.5 inch block or something somewhere.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm glad I'm not alone on that.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever done an art East pattern where I've got all the way through to the end and not had to cut one extra thing.
Yeah. No, at least I feel better now that it's not just me because I thought maybe I'm just not very good at this.
I get too
Adam, did you
excited
get the
just to
quote
start
done?
sewing.
Yeah. Well, they're cutting them all out at once would not be a bad idea because then then you need this so. I mean, that'd be
Yeah.
nice.
I'd like to employ someone to do all the cutting.
I haven't had anybody volunteer to do that for me yet. I've had someone volunteer to take out the paper piecing for me, which is really kind of them. But no
Yeah,
one's just
that's
fully.
not fun, pulling the papers.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Jean asked, "Did you get the quilt done?" You did. That's if you're referring to the poo one, you did get that done, right?
Yes, it's
That's the one
folded
you
up
cut out,
behind
right?
me. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably one of my one of the quilts that I'm most proud of that I've ever made, I think.
Yeah, that one was a lot of. Well, I'm still working on mine, but it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot bigger than you think it is.
Sorry,
It's quite a big quilt as well.
I know because wasn't it like 72 by 90 or something like that?
Yeah. It is quite a it's quite a big quilt once it's finished.
Yeah. I know. I'm not looking forward to quilting that.
I've just finished a quilt that's at the Long Armour at the moment, which is a secret project that I've been working on, and that's 96 by 102.
Wow. Okay, that's
Yeah,
intense.
it's too tall for me to actually hold up in one of our rooms.
Okay.
So to
That's
actually get perception of it, I had to hold it halfway up my staircase.
wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's. I think I had to send it off to the long armor too. I mean, we might have to go to one of my long armor friends too. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll probably be stubborn and try and do it myself, and I probably could with this machine or the Benina, but
Yeah.
we'll have to see. I got to finish it first. That's future Sean's problem. Good morning, Miss Donna. It's good to see you. Uh, let's see. Margie says she's working on Elizabeth Hartman's quilt, the kittens. That has a lot of pieces and 8 project bags still cutting out. Yeah, the cutting's the part that takes you the longest. But once you get it cut out and it's organized, it's not too, it's a whole lot easier. I always find the cutting takes, for me, it's like not the hardest thing, but the part that I'm glad when it's over. Because I like the assembly part. Michelle has a long arm. She quilts her own and her friends quilt her things. That's awesome. Yeah. Do you have a long arm, Adam?
I don't. I've got a frame.
Okay.
Uh, it's quite. I mean, it's they don't make them anymore, but I've got a little grace frame,
Okay.
which is 10 feet. But the I mean, I can quilt a whole quilt on there, but the only problem is that the actual quilting area is quite small.
Oh,
It's quite
yeah.
narrow because obviously you haven't got the neck, the length of the
Right.
neck of a long arm.
Yeah. I don't know. I figure if it's too big, I'm just gonna, save my pennies and send it off to someone, support a small business, and let them, do what they do best.
Yeah.
But if I can do it myself, I will. I like being able to do it from start to finish, but there's, you know,
Yeah, I like to
sometimes.
quilt my own quilts, but the one that I've sent off to the long arm is the first one that's ever gone to a long arm. I've quilted all of my quilts up until this one.
Oh, nice.
Um, but this particular quilt has taken me over 120 hours to piece.
Mm,
And I kind of got to the point and I thought, you know what? I'd rather someone else quilt it because I don't know that I want to look at it again for a little while.
yeah. Nice. Michelle says a Bravo scan and cut 325 SDX makes cutting easy. I'll have to take a look at that and see what that's all about. Donna says I can send the quilts her way. I might have to take her up on that offer. I said I've got to find money for it first too. Plus I got to finish these things, so it's not going to be any time soon. So yeah, because I don't have room for a long arm. I don't have the money for a long arm, and I figure even if I bought one, then I still got to do the labor myself, and I can pay someone to do a lot of quilts for me um, before I could break even on it. So I think I'll just be if for the ones that I do need to send out, I think I'll just send it out and do it that way. But we will see. Okay. Am I missing something here?
I think if it's under 80 by 80, it's manageable.
Yes, that's kind of where my thing is too. Stephanie is asking, have you heard of the caterpillar mats that are translucent and lighted behind for dark fabrics? Do you have
I
those over
haven't.
there
I
in the
don't think
UK?
we do. I know that
They have,
we can get light up mats, but they're very
yeah,
small.
the
I mean, I
caterpillar over
do have
here.
other mats, but they're quite small. The other ones that I've got. So if you're
Yeah, I
cutting
need.
full width of fabric off the bolt, it needs to be a larger mat, really.
I can't reach mine. Yeah, the caterpillar is really good. I bought one of those back in June, and they have a couple of different sizes. There's a small one that's I think 8 by 13, and the
Okay.
standard size one. Um, Actually, let me go grab it real quick because now I'm curious. I can't remember how big it is. I think you can do width of fabric.
Oh, okay.
Hold up. It's in this bag right here.
I know that Caterpillar does one that expands, doesn't it?
I think so. Yeah, the one
That
with the
unfolds in different ways.
yeah. So this is 16 by, so it's not quite big enough for with the
Oh, that's
fabric.
cool.
Yeah. And they make two different ones. There's this one here, and then there's also one that's like got a battery backup that you can like use not plugged in for a little while.
Oh, okay, that's clever.
And but that was like $50 more. And I was like, well, I don't think I'd ever use that. And if I did, I'll just hook it up to a power bank.
Yeah.
So I figured that it one or two times in my life that I'll need it, I can just plug it into a power bank and be just fine to save the money. If it was something I'd use all the time, yeah, I would have paid the extra, but I just didn't see the sense in doing that. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
there you go.
the thing is, I'm just being lazy because the black I'm using is the Tula black on black, which is
Oh,
printed.
that's
So if I
I love
turn it
that. I love that
over,
print. Yeah,
I will be able to see it. I just need to stop being lazy and turn it over.
it's fun to be lazy. There's nothing wrong with being lazy.
But it's difficult when you're cutting full widths off the bolt because you can't turn the fabric over while it's still on the bolt.
Right.
That's the problem that I tend to find.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. See if I can get this third one done this morning. Hey. There, that's an idea. Michelle said we just need an internet. There's a typo there. I'm thinking intern. Intern sounds good. Yeah, we need interns that can come in and cut our fabric for us.
Yes.
Yes.
Apprentices.
Apprentice. Yeah, apprentice or an intern. We'll have to start setting that up. That'll be our next task to set up. Um, let's see. Stephanie says looks like the large one is 19 by 26. Yeah, I don't think I bought the large one. I didn't want anything huge. Actually, I thought I was buying a smaller one than what I got. But you know, it's fine. I mean, what I have is good, and it'll do the trick. I forget to use it. I've got to pull it out and plug it in because my sewing room also doubles as my home office. So I tend to put stuff away when I'm not using it. Be nice if I could find a spot to put it where it can stay. There you go. It's cost of shipping now. The long arm prices are pretty good, but I still mail in order. Yeah, trying to ship the quilts to and from where you need them to go is a cost too. So yeah, if you can find a local long armor, that's also handy. Or if you just ship a whole bunch at once.
Yeah.
Because once you get over the first couple of pounds, it always seems to be really expensive for the first few pounds, and then it gets less and less because it's something to do with what's it called? It's like there's a minimum charge for the size of your packages for most companies. If it's like, let's say 24 by 24 by 24, they expect it to be at least 10 or 15 pounds, and then even if it's less, you get billed that much. So there you go. Amanda says she loves her caterpillar. I do too. I just haven't used it a whole lot. I always forget about it until I finish cutting, and then I'm like, well, duh, Sean, you could have used the caterpillar. But yeah, if you have trouble seeing the fabric as you're cutting it, and you're wondering if the caterpillar is a good fit for you, it is a cost. It's not cheap. I think I paid close to $200 for mine at the quilt show. So there is a significant cost for it, but is it worth it? I think so. For me, it's definitely something that I have not regretted purchasing. So yeah, if you're on the fence about it, again, yeah, it's going to cost you a bit, but I think it's a good investment for cutting, especially if you do a lot of cutting.
So tell me, Sean, are you an Acorn convert yet?
Yes,
You are. Have you got the
yes,
are you on the pen already?
yes. I've been using the pen. John sent me down the Acorn kit along with the I think the Alice in Wonderland kit. He sent it down
Okay.
to me to try out because I'd never used it before. I am not a starcher, and but I actually have only started using the Acorn pen in the last probably 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's wonderful. It's worth every penny, and you don't really use that much of it. I got that bottle I've been using for 3 or 4 months, and it's maybe a fingernails down. I mean, this bottle's probably gonna last me until 2027, and it's like $15 or $16 for the bottle. So I mean, for what I'm, it's not like a huge cost to use it either, which is nice.
Yeah. See, I buy the gallon.
But do you starch everything?
Um, I sort of missed everything with it. I don't.
Okay,
I'm not a heavy starcher,
okay,
but I do like to give everything a good. Because other than my bigger Lisa, I normally use my small one, which I don't use water in.
me either.
I just use my little Elisa as a dry iron. So I tend to just dampen my fabric
Gotcha.
with the Acorn spray
Nice.
if I'm trying to get wrinkles out and stuff.
And you had the berry colored Aliso there, right?
This is the Tudor one.
Oh, two. Okay, because mine,
Yes.
I got the little berry one in
Yeah, see
June.
that is very similar to the mini
I
Tudor.
know. Yeah.
Because yeah, I've got the berry case, but the Tudor iron.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and it doesn't, I mean, other than the fairy dust on it, it doesn't look that dissimilar
Right.
to the berry. But
Yeah. Now,
yeah.
when I got my Aliso a couple of months ago, they asked me what color I wanted. And I was looking at the yellow, and the yellow doesn't speak to me. The blue kind of doesn't really speak to me. And I saw the berry, and I'm like, yeah, I want that one.
Yeah. I think the berry is really nice.
Oh,
I've
it's
got
super pretty.
I've got the teal, the small teal one.
Yeah, that would have been my second choice. I'd never seen the berry until I was at the Aliso stand the other month, and so when I saw the berry one, I'm like, yeah, that's the one I would like, please.
Yeah. See, before the Tula one came out in the UK, the only large size that you could get was the yellow.
Right.
You
Okay.
know, the original Aliso
Yeah.
yellow. So I've got one of those as well. I don't know how I've managed to end up with four Alisos, but
Well, at least you're prepared. You do never want to have, and this is one thing I will tell everybody. I don't. You never have. You always want to have at least two irons because you'll be sitting there one day when it's the weekend or during a snowstorm, and it will quit on you, and
yep,
then you'll have no iron. And that happened to me early this year. Middle of a snowstorm, we got like 8 inches of snow outside. It's the middle of the night. All the stores are closed. My iron just quits. I have no iron, so I ended up pulling out my steam press, and I'm sitting there ironing with that thing because I was like, I'm not stopping sewing. So yeah, now I have three irons. So
yeah.
yeah, I will never have less than two. Um,
Well, I've got
yeah, even if
a whole stack of vintage ones as well because I went through a phase of collecting those,
yeah,
and they get
yes,
super hot,
mm-hmm,
like hot like you never knew an iron could get, which is
right.
slightly worrying because if you have those on maximum, you'll just burn everything.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I do have to be quite careful with those.
Yeah. No, the other two I have are just they're the cheapest steam fast irons. I think I paid like $20 for one and 14 for the other, and they work beautifully. They really do.
Yeah,
Um,
see, I've got one from Aldi, which I think I paid. Oh, I want to say I probably didn't pay more than about £8 for it. I think it was
okay,
£7.50.
right.
I've had it for about best part of 6, 7 years, and that
Oh, there you
thing
go.
still works.
Oh,
So
that's good. Yeah, yeah. That's one thing I'll say about the steam fast company is like this iron of mine died in the middle of a snowstorm. and it was only like 6 or 7 months old, which, obviously it was a warranty claim. And
Yeah.
I put the warranty claim in on a Saturday, and I had my new iron like the next Tuesday or Wednesday.
Well, that's brilliant.
Oh yeah, so their claims department is top notch, absolutely top notch. So yeah, if you ever have one of their products and it goes bad, like they ask you to take a picture, to cut the cord so you can't, reuse it, or if it's broken, why would you? To prove that it's busted and it's no longer operable, and you send that in, and then your address, and then they just send you a new iron, and you have it like 2 or 3 days later. It's fantastic.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. So
To be fair though, I've always found Eliso very good as well.
okay,
If there's any problem with any of the Elisos, and because I
they take care
retail
of.
the Elisos on my website as well,
Okay,
I
cool.
um I had a couple of the little minis that just gave up the ghost for one of my customers, and they literally issue a refund and send out a new or they send out a replacement one straight away.
Yeah, no, that's the important thing. Like, yeah, things happen, things die. It's how, to me, it's how the companies handle, getting you back up and running, is important. Obviously you don't expect same day service, but if they can get it out to you in a reasonable time frame where it's a couple, a few days or a week rather
Yeah.
than, a month, that's important to me. So that is good. So the general says, oh, cool, another guy at So's. Hi, Sean and Adam. It's good to see you. I think we've had you in the chat before, or I've seen you in someone else's chat. I can't remember. So I've managed to make 3 of these this morning, so that's pretty good news. We've got a purple, a green, and an orange. I'm planning on putting these together in one single row. Hopefully these look good to everybody. Because I was sitting here this
They're
morning,
super cute.
I have 6 colors altogether. There's a pink, purple, orange, like pretty much every color of the rainbow. And so I was trying to figure out how I was going to put these together, because there's 3 on one side, 3 on the other. And so I basically went down the rainbow and did every other color. So it's going to be like pink, yellow, green on one side, and then it's going to be orange, green, and purple on the other. I figured that made the most sense for me. So there you go. Good morning, Jess. It's good to see you as well. Let's see. All right. Well, I think we'll go ahead and wrap things up because it's almost 9:30, and we try and keep these to about an hour and a half. Thank you so much for joining us, Adam. Do you have anything fun coming up in your channel soon that you'd like to tell everybody about?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know that I have at the moment. I am working on, well, in the background, me and John have been talking about doing some different things about sew-alongs and different things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
potentially new things, but yeah, just have to see how things pan out.
So basically, what you need to do is, if you haven't already done so, go over to Adam's channel, take a quick look around. If you like what you see, or you've enjoyed hanging out with Adam this morning, duck over to his channel and hit that subscribe button and notification bells, as you know what to do. So that way, when something exciting is going on, you know what's going on. You can go over and check it out. I don't know if I said good morning to John. John, selfie does not work here, but you should be under exclamation point, John. So let me just make sure that works. Why is it not working? Hang on. We'll get you sorted. Hang on. Oh, okay. Actually, we'll change. We're under guys, but now we're going to change you to John. Okay, so now you should have John over at Guys Craft 2. If we put in exclamation point John, it should now kick up your channel link.
Ah, there
Yeah,
we go.
Surgeon General says, sub to Adam, I wish my sewing room was as organized as his. Yeah, you and me both.
I did have a clear up this week, so to be fair, it wasn't as organised as it is at the moment.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Like even if it's like that one day a year, you're doing well. So I mean,
Yeah.
mine's about as organized as I'll ever be, and I'm happy with mine. But yeah, it's never going to be quite as pretty as some others, and that's okay. So yeah, there you go. All right. Well, I think with that, we'll go ahead and say farewell. Thank you so much again, Adam, for joining us. It was a pleasure having you, and hopefully we'll be able to have you back again sometime in the near future. If you haven't checked his channel out, you know what to do. I'll be back tomorrow morning for my podcast, and there we go. Let's see who else is live later today. All right. So normally we have Donnell at 10, but she has something else to do this morning. She'll be back later this afternoon. I'm assuming Russ is live at 11. Mom and Pop will be live at 1, Katie at 4, and and then Donnell will pop in sometime this afternoon. So go check them all out. Tell them I said hi. Go comment on Adam's videos. Tell them I said hi as well, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you all next time. Thank you all for tuning in. If you're watching the replay, please say hi and let us know where you're watching from. Hope you all have a good day. Happy sewing. Hopefully there's no dates with Jack, and we'll see you all next time. Happy sewing. Bye.